Chase, you keep finding ways to get behind defenses, but you're also finding ways to beat them with underneath routes. You got an out route where you in your mid-turn and you're already looking for the football as it's coming, but you're also not even looking at defenders. You slap his jam hand away. How much of that is something that you naturally brought with you to this team, and how much of that has been cultivated in just working with this receiver group and your coach, Ike Hiller?
Yeah, I think Ike has done a really good job at, trying to sharpen up the fine details. And, a lot of that is, I brought some of it in, but in college I didn't really face a lot of press coverage. So a lot of that has been learning through either the scout defense, our defense, or just opponent defense, and how to beat different defenses.
Hey, Cam. I write for Bleacher Report. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
A couple of weeks ago, after you guys played the Ravens earlier this season, Lamar Jackson said his offense had been struggling in his sense because he noticed that opposing defenses had been calling out some of what they were doing on offense, like calling out runs or passes and things like that. So I wanted to ask you, I know they put up a bunch of yards against you guys last time you played this season, but what do you think of that concept of what he said? Is it easier to pick up Ravens tendencies this season because there's now more tape on that offense, whereas last year it was more of a newer offense? And if it is, can you think of a specific play from the last game where you felt like you had a good idea of what they were going to do?
To be personally honest, I don't really try to pay attention to what he's saying because, I think there's a lot going on to even just pay attention to one part. And I think they rely a lot on pace. Pace has always been a big factor to get, the defenses off rhythm. So, I think for us as a defense, we pay attention to more of the tendencies, whether it's down and distance, things of that nature, because, sometimes you can get rocked to sleep if you just try to pay attention to somebody's calls.
TJ, as a follow-up to Albie's question, when it comes to what you learned from the previous Ravens game, specifically when Jackson has the ball or trying to contain Jackson when he runs, what'd you take away from your study to apply for this time around?
Yeah, you look at the last game, they ran for 200-some yards on us. That's the first thing that kind of jumps out to you. A lot of the downhill runs were unacceptable, and we watched the film and weren't happy with how we played in that aspect of the game. So that's probably objective number one. And then two is always going to be containing him. And it's hard. You feel like you always have a flawless game plan going in, trying to corral Lamar Jackson, and he somehow finds ways to escape. And we understand that those plays are going to happen. He's an MVP caliber player, and we just kind of have to do our best and make sure that those plays that he does get out don't break us.